Hello, and welcome to the Pest Control Marketing Podcast with your host, me, Hal Coleman, uncensored and unplugged. Pay attention, take lots of notes, because you're going to find out exactly how to get more new customers, more referrals, and grow your business.
Hal Coleman has been active in the pest control industry for over 40 years, including owning and operating his own successful pest control business for 18 years. He now devotes his time to helping other PCOs and other WCOs double, triple, and even quadruple their businesses faster than they ever imagined. Be sure to check out his website, pestcontrolmarketer.com. For more information about Hal's coaching program, you can reach him at 770-993-0004 or email him hal@halcoleman.com. Mike Stewart is known as the Internet audio and video guy. Since the birth of the Internet, Mike has been showing small business owners how to get more new customers, increase their sales, and grow their businesses online using audio and video, now with iPhones and Android phones. For more information about Mike's coaching program and his online training courses, visit MikeStewartCoaching.com or email him mike@internetaudioguide.com. Hello, everybody. It's Mike Stewart, and I want to let you know about this month's podcast. We have members of PestControlMarketingGold.com. It's a membership coaching club between myself and Hal Coleman at PestControlMarketingGold.com. And we put out to have our members ask us questions. So here are the questions and the answers from PCOs just like you from our membership site. Hope you'll check out the membership site. There'll be links to it here in the podcast, on the podcast page. But it's really easy. Search for PestControlMarketingGold.com, and you can find out about how Hal and I work with PCOs and WCOs just like you to help you every month do offline and online marketing that makes a difference in your business. So these are real questions from real users just like you, and Hal and mine's answers in this podcast. I'm Mike Stewart, and I am here with my good buddy, partner, and pest control PCO marketing expert, Hal Coleman. You here in the house, Hal?
I'm here in the house, Mike. I'm monitoring every word you say.
Well, I'll try to keep it G-rated. But for the bugs, we got to make it X-rated. We got to get those bugs out of here. But you know what? You need customers who have bug problems, and that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. So tonight's webinar is real straight ahead and simple forward, is that we wanted questions from you. So, and we got more questions than we can get to tonight, so you're going to have to tune in next month for the questions we have still left over. But we got some really good questions, and Hal put them together, and let's just get started. In your fact, you're looking at the first question. So Hal, you read the question and give us your spin on it, and if I have anything to contribute, the first half of the questions are mostly Hal marketing, no-nonsense psychology of the marketing response triggers, all the things that Hal teach, and then when we get into some of the web stuff, we'll talk about how that applies to my knowledge of content and video marketing and what we do with websites and Google and all the sort to get people to find you, like you, trust you, and call your phone number and do business with you. So Hal, start it off with the first question.
I will start it off, but first I want to give a little introduction, if you because I've had a couple of people that contacted me in the last couple of days that said, "Who are you guys? Why are you doing this? Who are you?" So I want to tell them who we are. First, I'm Hal Coleman. I just entered my 45th year in the pest control industry. I started out in 1974. Went to the University of Georgia, majored in entomology, and got my first introduction to pest control when I was in college. Went straight out of the University of Georgia. I went to work for the Georgia Agriculture Department as a pest control regulatory inspector. I did that for 10 years, and then I left there in 1984. I went to work for a large independent pest control company and learned the business there for 6 years. First 3 years, I was a termite inspector and pest control technician. Then they moved me into sales, and I spent the next 3 years in selling termite and pest control. No salary, no base, all 100% commissioned income. And then in June of 1990, I decided to do this on my own. So I started out as a one-man with a spray can business and company, and I grew it into $1 million business, and then I back probably around in the early 2000s there, I started getting interested in marketing and began studying psychology and neuroscience, buyer behavior, NLP, EFT, hypnosis, everything that I could get my hands on about the human mind and how it relates to buying and selling. So then in 2008, I had become so passionate about that I just sold my business and became a full-time marketing coach. Mike, I started working with you almost 35 years ago. And back then, we used to write jingles and produce jingles in your recording studio. So we were doing marketing way back then. Then I read one day that Al Gore had invented the internet, and I didn't know what it was. So you introduced me to it. You drugged me into it, kicking and screaming, and taught me about the internet and how it could affect my small pest control business. And so I began learning how to do videos with a handheld Sony camera, and it was quite a task to do a video and edit it. But you had me doing a video blog 15 years ago for my little pest control business, and people had a good friend who was a sales trainer at Orkin, and he said, "How do you do that?" Nobody knew how to do that kind of stuff except you, and you began showing me how to adapt it to a small business, and it just really was amazing at what I was able to do as far as marketing my business. It didn't cost a penny to sit down and create a video, upload it on YouTube, upload it as a video blog, and I loved it. So it was like having my own little TV show, and you're one of the pioneers of marketing small businesses on the internet with audio and video. And I know it was a struggle for you in the beginning because it was so far over everybody's head. It's so simple, yet it was so new that you struggled, and then we struggled to get people in home services industries. You know, we're blue-collar guys in this industry. I'm a blue-collar bug guy, and so we tend to be technophobes and resistant to such types of changes. But you and I have had a lot of clients in recent years who the light bulbs have come on in their heads, and they have seen what they can do with this stuff. And so here we are today doing webinars, and we have membership sites for pest control operators, and we coach pest control operators, and it's just the most exciting thing I've ever done. You know, when a guy asked me a while back, he said, "Why don't you go fishing with me anymore?" I said, "Man, I'm having too much fun to fish." Now, that's a serious statement right there, but that's the way I feel about it. And so, yeah, I just want people to know who we are that really didn't. So we promised questions. So let's dive right in there, Mike. The first question for someone just starting a company: what is the one most important thing to do to build customer accounts? And my answer to that is the very first thing you need to do is look around and see what all of your competition is doing, and don't do any of it the way they're doing it. Find a different way to present yourself. Make sure if everybody else is apples and you become an orange, that unique selling proposition. What can you give people that none of your competition can give them? What can you offer them that nobody else can? And when you are able to figure that out, now you're ready to start spending some money on advertising and spending some money on marketing. And but most people, when they start out starting a company, they're like a person driving down the street with a loudspeaker on top of their car and a microphone in their hand, and they have absolutely nothing to say. And so they drive by and people don't listen to them. They're just part of the crowd. But once you come up with that powerful message, that powerful, compelling, dynamic, hypnotic, irresistible message to people. This is who I am, and this is why you should do business with me and not my competitors. And when they're clearly able to see that, now you're ready to start really building those accounts at a rapid rate. It almost magnetizes your business, because that message is your battle cry. It's the headline of your website. It's the headline of your brochures, your flyers, your business cards. So I think the number one most important thing to do to build customer accounts is to be able to clearly show somebody beyond a shadow of a doubt why they should choose you to do business with and not one of your competitors. That's where it all starts. That's the footing that the foundation of your business is built on.
Sounds
great. Number two, if I have $1,000 for marketing, how should I use the money? In one place or several places? Here again, without knowing what you're doing now, it's hard to really give you a specific, but I'm going to fall back to the earlier question. I was playing golf with some guys a few years ago, and I had an old set of golf clubs. I was taking golf lessons, and my golf instructor could take my golf club. He could take my 3-wood and hit the ball about 275 yards as straight as a rope every time. And then I would pick it up and, couldn't do much with it. And I was playing golf with a guy, and I said, I need to get me a new set of golf clubs, updated set of golf clubs, more technical, more forgiving golf clubs. And he said, well, he said, my dad was a professional golf instructor at a country club when I was growing up. And he said, my dad would tell you straight to your face, take the money that you're planning on spending on golf clubs and spend it on golf lessons if you want to get better. It's not the clubs. It's your technique. So I would tell you, if you have $1,000 for marketing and you're just starting out in the business, or you're a one-man operator or two-man operator, and you don't have it all figured out yet, and you have $1,000, spend it on marketing education. Read books. Read my newest book, How to Grow a Pest Control Business. Read Guerrilla Marketing. Read Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. Load your mind up with knowledge about why people buy and what you have to do to sell to those people. That's what I would suggest. Now, if you said you had $50,000 to spend, I could give you a lot of other ideas, but then you begin to test little things. Test small. Do a small direct mail piece for maybe a few $100s, or spend $1,000 on some flyers and go put boots on the ground and distribute them door to door. But if you only got $1,000 and you're starting out, my answer, hands down, spend it on education and learn how to make money in the pest control business.
The only thing that bothers me about this question, Hal, is that don't put a limit on your marketing and education budget. The question should be, how can I learn the way to get the biggest return for my marketing? And if all you have is $1,000, you need to know what to do to make that $1,000 give you $1,000 in more than $1,000 return in profit. So in other words, for every dollar you spend, two better come back. And of course, we used to have a saying that if I spend $1 doing X and get two back, how many dollars should I spend? And the answer is, you took too long to answer. The answer is, don't look at budgets. Look at, what can I afford to do? And everybody can afford to go get books, marketing books, like you said, guerrilla marketing. You can actually go to YouTube and listen to Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. You need to go join networking meetings. You need business cards. Business cards are $50 to $20 to $50 at Vistaprint.com. and you need to get out there and you need to formulate your unique selling proposition and get that marketing message of uniqueness to as many people so that the phone rings with paying customers. And then as your business grows, never put a limit on your advertising and marketing efforts. One place, never one place. Because let's say you spend $1,000 on a flyer or something and you mail it out and you get no business, that money's gone forever. But if you take $5, if you go to YouTube and listen to Think and Grow Rich tonight, it'll last you a lifetime, and that was free. So the answer is several places, but knowing where to spend it and how to spend it and monitor it and test what you spend and see what kind of return you get on your investment. Anyway, that's
read Scientific Marketing by Claude Hopkins. It was written in 1923, I think, and it's still almost like a Bible of current marketing. It's like some things don't change. Water has always run downhill, and it always will. Gravity causes things to fall down and not up. So there's certain laws that never change, and Claude Hopkins figured a lot of those out about marketing and advertising, and that book is free too.
Yeah, so search for Scientific Advertising by Claude Hopkins, and everywhere it says direct mail, substitute internet, and it still works to this day. People's psychologies are consistent. Technologies change, but how human response triggers are forever. Now,
human brain hasn't changed, in 75,000 years. So, all right, what is the best marketing? The best marketing is direct response marketing. And if you don't know what that is, it's different from brand marketing or brand or institutional, it's called both, versus direct response. What's the difference? Well, brand marketing is designed to build an awareness in people's minds so that if someday down the road they want your product, they think of you. Coca-Cola did that. They've spent over 100 years and hundreds of millions of dollars branding that little Coca-Cola emblem. And here's the best analogy I can give you and the difference in brand marketing and direct response marketing. Direct response marketing is designed to get somebody to do a specific thing right now. And let's just say you were down here in Atlanta, you might be at the Braves game down here in the new Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Let's say there's 40,000 people in that stadium, and they're there for 5 hours. And they're looking up at the sky off and on, and there's a blimp up there. And that blimp probably says Goodyear. And they look at that blimp, off and on. They keep seeing it up there. Now, how many cars, automobiles, do you think are in that parking lot? If there's 40,000 people in there, there's a good chance there's probably 20,000 automobiles in the parking lot. And how many of those automobiles do you think need tires right now? And there's a good bet that half of them do. So let's just say you got 10,000 or 5,000 automobiles in the parking lot that need tires right now, and they look up and they see this Goodyear blimp flashing around up there for 5 hours. So how many people do you think might look over at their spouse and say, honey, I'm going out tomorrow morning and buy a set of tires? I don't think many, because of that blimp. But now let's change what's written on that blimp. Now let's turn it into direct response marketing. Let's say instead of Goodyear, on the side of that blimp, it says, buy 2 tires, get 2 free, any Goodyear store, ends noon tomorrow. Now how many people do you think are going to look over and say, honey, I'm going out tomorrow morning and buy a set of tires? Now I can guarantee you a lot more of them are going to buy tires than if they had just seen the word Goodyear, because that message is designed to offer them what is the heart and soul of direct response marketing, which is a deal and a deadline. It's buy 2 tires, get 2 free, ends noon tomorrow. So a lot of those people in that stadium are going to show up before noon tomorrow in a Goodyear store, and they're going to get 2 free tires. And you always have somebody that says, well, you can't make any money if you give away 2 free tires. You might not right there on the front end, but your job as a marketer is to get them in that store and treat them so well and blow them away with your service and build a relationship with them so that they come back and they buy your Goodyear tires for the rest of their lives. So that's the difference in brand marketing and direct response marketing. So if you're ever talking to a marketing guy or anywhere and he says, oh, we'll brand you, we'll help you build a brand, you just say, thank you, I'll talk to you later, because I want to find somebody that's going to teach me direct response marketing, because you as a small business owner don't have the time nor the money to wait on brand marketing to start working for you. You need to offer deals and deadlines right now, seasonal deals, offers, and get those people flocking to you to get what they want right now. So that's my answer. What is the best marketing? Direct response marketing. Okay, for every dollar I spend in marketing, how much should I expect in return? Here, this is a very general question, and you should expect a profit. That's the best way I've looked at this question today and thought about it. And for every dollar I spend in marketing, how much should I expect to get in return? As much as you can, a profit. If you spend $1, if for every dollar you spend in marketing, you get back 95 cents, that's not a good deal.
You're not going to make double the volume.
It's so you should expect a profit, and I can't tell you, generally in pest control, I know companies that generate a net profit every year of all across the board, net profit of 10%. So if they're doing $1 million worth of business a year and they're paying themselves a good salary and they're paying everybody else a good salary at the end of the year, they should have $100 in the savings account. I mean, $100,000 in the savings account. I know people who who are really money squeezers and really ruthless in managing their money who generate a 20% net profit. So they're doing $1 million worth of business. They're paying themselves a good salary. They're taking care of everything. They're operating out of $800,000, and they put $200,000 a year in a savings account. So for every dollar you spend, you want to get back as much as you can in return, and you need to make sure you're generating a profit. And that profit is there are a lot of ways to look at profit, but how much should you expect in return? You should expect a decent profit on what you're spending. That's the best answer I can give you there. And this is a similar question. Mike, what would be an acceptable sales percentage for door-to-door sales? That's going to vary from company to company because your margins are different. Some people are squeezing the money, and they have a ton of money in the bank and a ton of money to play with, and others don't have much at all. They don't manage it well, and so that's going to be different for each one there. What's an acceptable percentage? But I would say that I have done some door-to-door sales, and if I can visit 50 homes in an afternoon, if I can go knock on 50 doors in the morning and I get one good customer that morning, I think I can turn that into a profit. Now, one thing that people fail to do is looking at the lifetime value of a customer. If they're selling quarterly pest control for $75 a quarter, that's $300 a year, and they get a new customer, some people have a tendency, believe it or not, to say, well, I went all morning and I got a $75 customer. I made $75. But the national average right now in the year 2018 is somewhere around, for the lifetime value of the customers, they're going to stay with you for about an average of 10 years, and they're going to spend an average of $5,000 with you. If you got them at $175 a quarter, that's $300 a year. For 10 years, that's $3,000 right there. And if you're doing their termite work and you have them under a termite service contract for $200 a year, that's another $2,000. That's $5,000 right there over the next 10 years. Plus, if you sell them a nuisance animal control service, rodent work, insulation, you can jack that on up. So customers are worth a lot more than what people think they are. So plus, if you have a really good system in place and you work hard and diligently, and you know that every customer you get over that 10-year period, you're going to get at least 2 more customers as referrals from that customer. You're committed to it. You got it worked out. They're going to give you 2 more customers. Now that's 2 more $5,000 customers. So really, when you got that one customer, when you look at the long-range picture, that's worth $15,000 to you. So what would be an acceptable sales percentage from door-to-door sales? You know, if I could go out and spend all morning knocking on doors and come up with a couple of good customers, I'm happy. If I got 2 a day, that's 10 a week. That's 40 customers in a month. That's over 400 customers in a year, all worth about $5,000 a piece. So what would be an acceptable sales percentage? You take those numbers. I hope you're writing them down and making notes, and then you figure out what would be a good percentage for you. But 1 or 2 customers, that's if you're taking care of your customers and you nurture them and groom them and stroke them and blow them away with your service, they're going to stay with you for a long time. If you high pressure sell and then don't deliver on your service and don't return phone calls and don't show up and have a bad attitude and you don't have time to get to them and you're late, you know, they're going to bail. And so all of your efforts are not going to measure up nearly as much as they would if you maximize your efforts there.
Well, here's what I heard, Hal. You're saying that if you got 1 customer in 50 calls, you knocked on 50 doors and you get 1 paying customer, that's a 2% conversion. That means that 2% of the people you made your marketing message to spent money with you. And, of course, one of the things that's it's all hinging on how good is your presentation when you cold call, when you're knocking on doors to door. If you can improve it, if you can think about what's in it for the customer, what if you improve your conversion rate to 2 out of 50? Now you're up to 4% conversion. What if you got up to 3 out of 50? You see, it's all hinging on you sharpening your skills of presenting when you're doing something, and as really very easy to procrastinate. You know, are you knocking on $50 a day? Can you do it? Will you consistently do it? Will you see 400 people? I used to have a coach that we did work with named Chuck Reeves, and Chuck had a company called 21 Associates, and he used to say that it takes 21 no's to get a yes. 21. He said most salespeople will not call on 21 leads in a row, but he said from his experience, if you make yourself enthusiastically call on 21 people door to door, whatever it is, however you do it, telephone sales, it doesn't matter. If you can get 1 in 21, which is really 1 in 21 is 4% conversion. So make your presentation so good, so compelling, so customer shock and awe customer service, because all the sales and marketing in the world is no good if you don't follow up with really great service and really focus on making your features and benefits of your service to the customer. So anyway,
yeah, that's true. And also, Mike, if you have something really good, direct response marketing tools to leave with those people that don't hire you, and you come away, you say, well, I got 1 or 2 today. But if you've left a really good value proposition with those people, they may save it. They may become your customer a month from now, or 3 months from now, or 6 months from now, or a year from now. So leaving them with something behind that's compelling and of value will have some of those calling you up, and you say, well, how did you hear about me? Oh, well, you came by my door last spring and you left me this this coupon. You said I could use it any time, and we've got ants in the kitchen now, and I'd like to redeem this coupon now. You just got another customer because of your direct response marketing tool that you left behind.
How to sell to household prospects. I assume that's basically the same question, going door to door.
Yeah, that's homeowners. That's how to sell to household versus commercial prospects. I assume that's the context of this question, and it's the same thing. Having that powerful, dynamic, seductive, irresistible message and offer to people that that homeowners want. You know, what do they want? They want somebody to get there fast and get rid of the bugs now, and they want to deal with somebody they can trust, somebody they like. They want a great guarantee. They want to spend a fair price and not one penny more, and they want to know that if they got a question, that somebody's a phone call away, and you've become their trusted advisor, their friend, their confidant, and you're protecting their home. And when they feel that, they're going to call you if they have a problem. And that there again, that's the information that goes on their website. When you know, Mike, really all your website is an ad, just like a Yellow Page ad or a newspaper ad or a flyer or a magazine ad. They're just ads. You can do more with the website. It's a more versatile ad, but really all those things all ads are really a form of salesperson. So you get really good ads, really good messages, and those convert the people who look at your flyer, or they get your direct piece in the mail, or they visit your website, or they watch your video, or they see your billboard, or they see your vehicle. And what does it say to them? It says, this is who I am, and this is why you need to call me if you have a problem. And that's how you get the household prospects.
You know, the consistency of the value of your service has to be consistent on every way you reach human beings. And of course, one of the things you need to do is you need to go out, be a part of a networking group, have referral partners, build new referral partners that you can refer business to them. You know, there's all kinds of related businesses that if you build relationships of trust, that they know that when they send a customer to you, that you're going to take care of them, and you reciprocate by sending them referrals. So referral marketing, you know, I love when people say, what do you do for marketing? Well, word of mouth works for us. Well, you know, word of mouth is wonderful, and there's nothing wrong with it. But, you know, the only way you're going to get word of mouth going is get out there and start talking to people and get that consistent message in every communication system possible.
Thanks for listening to the Pest Control Marketing Podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast in iTunes and on your phones, and in Stitcher on your Android. But more importantly, go to our website, pestcontrolmarketingpodcast.com. Subscribe to our email list to always be notified of new episodes. You're never going to want to miss what we've got coming up next, and you never know what we're going to be able to do to help you with your pest control marketing.